We are learning about fiction texts, and to be successful today, we will be able to identify the setting in a text and know the setting is the where and the when of a story. So we had a look yesterday of our where. So this is the place that the story is happening, and you can see that there can be lots of different places. It might be in outer space, a castle, the park. There are so many places stories can take place because fiction is all from our imagination. When we're talking about the setting, though, we are also talking about the when. So when the story is taking place. So you might have the seasons to tell you about the when, summer, autumn, winter, or spring. You might have like the time of the day, whether it's day or night or afternoon or evening. The special occasions that are happening in the story might tell you that it's around Christmas time, and so that must be December, or it's around Easter time, so that's in March or April. You might also have time words such as today, tomorrow, or yesterday that pop up that help you figure out the when of the story. When we're looking at the setting and we're considering the when of the story, we can also use different clues that the author uses with the words they use, so past, present, or future tense. So some words that have happened in the past, like you ran or walked. Present words mean that it's happening right now, you're walking. Or in the future, maybe you will walk. So we can use those word clues as well to help us figure out what time frame a story was happening in. In this table here, we have some words that could be super helpful when you're trying to figure out the when of a story. So it's organised into seasons, time, special occasion, and tense. I wonder if you can think of any other words that we might be able to look for when we're trying to figure out the when of a story. Pause the video here and see if you can figure it out. In this next part of the video, we're going to read a story together and see if we can figure out the setting. So the when and the where. The knight who was afraid of the dark. Once, long ago, in a time known as the Dark Ages, there lived a bold and much loved knight. He was called Sir Fred. So this opening paragraph gives us loads of clues to the when this story is happening. So here I've seen once long ago. So this is telling me that it's happened in the past. It's not happening now. It's not going to happen in the future. This is a story that's happened already in the past, and a long time ago it seems. Another clue I found here was as a time known as the Dark Ages. And I know from my prior knowledge that this was a time in history, a long time ago, before I was alive. He drove monsters out of the moat. He chased the dishonest merchants out of town and saved the fair lady Wendelin from a hideous 10-headed dragon. There was only one crack in Sir Fred's armour. Sir Fred was afraid, knee-bumping, heart-thumping afraid of the dark. So I have enough picture clues now to figure out the where of this story as well. So I can see in the background there's a castle. And we know that knights generally live in castles. And we can see that there's a wilderness around as well. Here's another picture that shows us the dark of the castle that he's quite afraid of. He was afraid of the dark of the moon, the dark of the top of the steep stone stairs, the dark at the bottom of the big brass bed, and the dark between the head hole and the armhole when he put on his armour. Because he was afraid, Sir Fred kept his bedchamber bright with candles. He kept a bottle of fireflies on his night table and slept with his pet electric eel. So we can see from the picture clues as well that this is the night time. So we know it's happening a long time ago in the Dark Ages at a castle, but we also can tell that it's nighttime because the authors told us that he puts on all candles and things when he's afraid of it being dark outside. Whom he took with him if and when he had to get up to go to the bathroom. Sir Fred was also afraid of being found out. Indeed, there was only one who suspected. That one was the castle bully, Melvin the Miffed. think it must be this character here because I can see him being a bit unkind already, a bit of a bully. Melvin the Miffed couldn't stand Sir Fred because he was better loved, especially by Lady Wendelin. Melvin the Miffed stalked the castle corridors, sneaking and peeking and trying to find the crack in Sir Fred's armour. Melvin the Miffed observed that Sir Fred did all his brave deeds in broad daylight. All the other knights liked the cover of darkness. He also saw that Sir Fred was the only knight who did not cower under the round table during thunder and lightning storms. Indeed, the bolder the bolt, the better. It must be because the lightning makes it nice and bright. Moreover, he observed that Sir Fred only met Lady Wendelin on nights when the moon was full, which was why they seldom saw each other, and why Lady Wendelin began to wonder if she was truly Sir Fred's true love. Things came to a head one dark day when Melvin the Miffed sneaked up and peeked at a letter Lady Wendelin was reading. So we've got another clue here as a dark day, so it must be like a stormy weather day. If your true love truly wanted to see you, Melvin the Miffed whispered, he wouldn't make up silly excuses not to. Wicked good point, Lady Wendelin said, tossing her curls and stamping her feet. That afternoon, Lady Wendelin embroidered a banner and hung it out of her window. We can use the picture clues here for some extra information. It says, meet me at the fountain at midnight or never see me again. Lady Wendelin. Sir Fred saw the banner and sank into deep despair. Because of what we know about Sir Fred here, I'm a little bit worried that he might not meet Lady Wendelin, or perhaps he might overcome his fears, but we know that his character traits at the moment are quite afraid. The evening sky was exceedingly dark and the moon was thin as a mouse's whisker. It must be night time if we're talking about the dark sky and the moon being out. Sir Fred pummeled his pillow and hemmed and hawed, "Oh woe, shall I stay or shall I go? If I don't go, I will lose my lady love because she will think I don't love her. If I do go, I will lose my lady love because she will think I am scared of the dark, which I am." In the end, Sir Fred went. His fear was big, but so was his love. He went armed with a fistful of fireflies, a glowworm-studded shield, and his faithful electric eel wound around his arm. Lady Wendelin was waiting by the fountain with her eyes tightly closed. At the stroke of midnight, she opened them and shrieked, "Yeah!" As she shrieked, she grabbed Sir Fred's hand, released the fireflies, flung the shield to the ground, and tweaked the electric eel's tail light, leaving Sir Fred terrified in total darkness. "Ah! Get off, my true love!" Lady Wendelin shrieked again as she flicked a last lingering firefly from Sir Fred's sleeve. "To tell the truth," she then said, "I'm terrified of bugs and all slithery things that creep and crawl." Sir Fred then did his bravest deed. He told Lady Wendelin the truth about himself. "I am," he admitted, "afraid of the dark, knee-bumping, heart-thumping afraid of the dark." "Then you are even braver than I thought," Lady Wendelin said, flinging her arms around Sir Fred, "because you met me anyway." "And you are as brave as well as beautiful," Sir Fred said with a kiss, "because you tried to protect me." Melvin the Miffed was still sneaking and peeking around. He saw the loving scene and snorted. How sickening! Then he stamped his feet and stalked off forever. Nobody saw him leave. Lady Wendelin was too busy patting Sir Fred's electric eel and saying, "He's not as scary as I thought." Meanwhile, Sir Fred was clutching his true love and telling her, the dark's not so scary either, with someone. Okay, guys, now that I've had a go trying to figure out the when of that text, the knight who was afraid of the dark, I'd like you to have a go trying to figure out the when of this text. What made Tiddalik laugh? I'm going to read you this paragraph on the first page of this Dreamtime story, and I want you to listen out for those clues that tell us when this could be happening. In the Dreamtime, there lived a giant frog called Tiddalik. One morning, when he woke, he said to himself, I am so thirsty, I could drink a lake. There are a couple of clues in there that the author has included that tell us the when. I'd like you to write a sentence to your teacher as part of your reading task today, telling us when this story is taking place and how you know. What words have you used to figure that out? Good luck!